Welcome to a brand new episode of Backpass X Balestier Khalsa. And this is Ras here, alone this week because Cal probably had too much of a good time in Bali and lost his voice. So I'm all alone here today. Uh, Been quite an eventful weekend for me due to some birthday celebrations, anniversary celebrations, poor health even on my part and on my son's part. So yeah, pretty eventful. Doesn't end there. Anyways, going to matters on the field for Balestier Khalsa. Well, before we get to the senior team, the under 17s game against Lion City Sailors was interrupted in the 15th minute because of the lightning warning alert. So that game got interrupted and was postponed. The under 21 team, well, they started their plate tournament on a good note because they beat Albirex Niigata 1-0. Goal scored by Shukri Nur Haizam. So congratulations, boys. So on a good start there for the under 21 boys. Hopefully they can win the plate tournament. And on the senior team, well, what can I say? Leading 4-1 at first in the first half. I thought we were cruising. Every shot we're taking was going into the back of the net. Enjoying it. Good day in the office, I thought. And little did I know that second half, it would crumble like that. And a 4-4 draw in the end. Something for the neutrals to watch, I guess. Exciting stuff, but from a Balestier perspective, not good at all, but it is what it is, right? So that's that with the senior team. And anyways, last week I mentioned about the women's team, and the women's team ended the season on a high with a win, and as well as three players that were called up for by the national team. And one of the three players, we've got her with us today, and it's Shafika Peer. So let me introduce her in. Yes, Shafika, how are you
Hi,
doing?
hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
And with her, I've got returning to the show for the second time. It's her head coach, Mr. Ratna Suffian. Ratna, how are you doing, man?
Hi Ras, thank you for having me back. Good to be back. Yep.
Yeah, it is good to be back as well with you. And
Mhm.
Shafika, welcome to the show. I'm not sure if
thank
you've
you.
heard of this show before, but welcome to the show. It'll be fun, I guess. I
Yeah,
promise you, in fact.
Mhm.
thanks for having me.
Yeah. So there were two other players that were called up by the national team, and that's Nura Weda. I hope I got her pronunciation of her name right.
Okay.
And Norizian, is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. So it's just
Yep.
the three of us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So congratulations on getting the call up, Shafika. But what was your reaction at receiving the call up?
So honestly, I didn't expect it because I think he only called me up like 1 week before the Indonesian game. So when I got called up, I just knew I had to go for training, and I think that was the priority at that point of time because I knew playing against Indonesia has always been a big game for the country. Like
Mm.
as you can see, like from the past friendlies and the competitions that we have played against Indonesia, like we have lost to them 1-0, and then we won them. So like
Mm.
uh, it was a very important game on Monday. So I was very able to be part of that team playing uh, in the game on Monday. Yeah.
Okay. And at the time when you got the call up, you said you didn't expect it, but what were you doing at that point in time? Was it like, did he really call you up, the coach? Did he really call you up, or did FAS call you and say, hey, Shafika, you'll be reporting to national team training now at this time? Or
No,
how did it
actually,
go?
Coach Stefan just like text me out of nowhere and like, hi Shafika, like I would want you in my team as part of the selection squad to be playing against Indonesia. So like that was out of sudden because I was at work. I was literally under an aircraft when I received that message. So it was like quite shocking. So like when I got a message, I texted him back. I was like, I cannot give him a promise because working like in the airport, as you know, it
Oh, yeah.
goes by shift hours. So
Okay.
it was very hard for me to get time off to go for training, national training and stuff like that. But I'm very grateful that my company actually allow it because it was for national duty. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Imagine if the company didn't allow it, that would be a pity.
No
God.
lah,
So
it's
okay,
okay
so
lah.
these are some challenges that we can understand now because we know about all these glamorous footballers that we watch on TV. They get a national call up. Next thing they know, they're on the flight to the national team training. No such issues. But here you are, you got a national call up, but you still got to ask your employees, can you give me some time off? I got to go for national team training. So yeah,
Yeah.
challenges are different here.
Yeah, it's actually very different for like women's national team and the men's national team. As you know, like the men's
Mhm.
national team are playing for full time for the country and for
Yeah.
clubs. But as compared to women's national team players, most of us are working full time, and then we
Mhm.
have to take time off after work, like 6 p.m. just to go for training and train at our best. Then after that,
Mhm.
we go back and repeat this routine over and over again. Yeah, so
Oh.
it's quite tiring, but we play out of passion. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And that's thanks for sharing that. I think the listeners, will learn something new from this. Okay, Shafika, you're joined by two other teammates of yours at the national team. How was that like for the three of you when you
I
joined the
think
national team training?
I think it was for the three of us. I mean, for Wada, she has been part of the national team like for almost a year now. Like she has been in the under 16s and after under 19. So this is not
Mm,
pretty normal for her. So
okay,
I think for Yan it was a big thing for her because it's her first cap
first
for
call up,
Singapore.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
her first call up and the first cap that she got to play on Monday.
yeah.
So it was a bigger news for her to be in the national team. So I think she was quite proud about it. Like she was telling me like she might cry on that day if she get to play and stuff like that. So like I think she did like when she before she came in, like I don't know whether Coach Ratna saw, but she was tearing because she was like quite excited like to go inside like the field and like play. Yeah. So so actually I was quite proud of her lah because she actually managed to like overcome that overwhelm. As you know, like Jalan Besar was quite packed that day because we had
Yeah, yeah.
we had
I know.
supporters from like Singapore and Indonesia side. So
Yeah.
I think it was very overwhelming for her to receive her first call up and first cap like at Jalan Besar. So
Mm,
yeah, I'm quite proud of her. Like yeah.
okay. And for yourself, it's not your first call up as well, right?
No, as in like I've played in the national team for almost a year now. Like I've been to competitions. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so for you it's probably quite normal seeing the rest of your teammates. I think after a long time would have been nice, right?
Yeah, I do miss them, of course. Like most of them I grew up playing with like Steph, Fana in under 19s. So
Mm,
I've grown up playing football every day, training with them, going overseas with them, traveling, waking up next to them and stuff like that. So it it was a very rough break because I don't get to see them like
mm,
after AFF and stuff like that because all of us were adulting and then coach put us on break and stuff like that.
mm.
So like it was quite nice to be part of that team again. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And yourself, Coach Ratna, when you found out that these girls were called up, what was your reaction?
I mean, I'm always happy for them, especially if they're coming from Balestier. It's only a good exposure for them. Izian got her first call up, and Wada and Shafika are the usual veteran. And then I hope more and more of my players get called up when they deserve to be called up. So it can only be good for the women's league as a whole. Different players from different club coming up. They get more experience playing overseas, playing with international competition. So as a whole, it will improve our league. You know.
Okay, and one player conspicuous by her absence is your captain, Mastura. What happened? What has happened to her? Is she injured or what's the situation there?
Yeah, Mas unfortunately got injured during the AFF tournament. That
Oh,
was like midway through our season. So that was a
okay.
big loss for us because Mas was one of our key players, still is actually. So that actually, what do you call that, a bit take a huge dent in our preparation for games
Hmm.
for the rest of the season. Yep.
Okay. So what? She's got a long-term injury.
Yeah, she actually strained or partially tear her old injury, her knee injury, but she has
Oh.
been back to training again, which is a
Hmm.
good news. She has started slowly doing her rehab, and she is coming down to train. I am pretty sure you will see her again next season for the
Mm.
new season.
Mm.
She's a tough nut. She always come back from all these adversaries, and I can't wait to work alongside with her again, and the rest of the players.
Okay. Okay, Shaf, with
Yep.
all due respect to Coach Ratna's coaching methods and his methodology, what was the difference between, training with the national team?
I feel like, as you know, national team players are among the best players in the country. So of
Yeah.
course intensity will be a little bit higher at the national team training. So it's very
Mm.
different from what we play at the league. So from what you can see, Lion City have most of the national team players. So you can
Mm.
see the difference in the intensity of our different like league teams. So
Mm.
that's why it was a little bit harder for Balestier to play against Lion City, but we still managed to conquer them. It wasn't a big loss for us, but we were still proud as a team for holding them for quite some time, actually, for almost at least half time. Yeah. So being in the national team training and being part of the ballistic training, intensity is just different. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Coach, you want to add something to
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I will echo the sentiment because, like Shaf said, the national team training is of higher intensity, which it should be because you're picking players from the best players in the country to play. Whereas in your club, you somehow have to manage your expectation because there are some players who are not as exposed or not as seasoned. There are some players only start playing slightly later than the rest of the player who are training at the national team. So as a
Mm.
coach for the club. And also the assistant to the national team, you can see the difference, and you have to manage the difference in the sense that you try to replicate what you do in the national team, but at the same time you know that if you can get 60% of what 60-70% of what the national team is doing, then you're right, and at the same time you also cannot expect the mountains, or you have to play like the national teams and stuff. You have to know
Mm.
your own player, you have to manage
Mm.
your expectation as well.
Mm.
Mm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you are also part of the national team setup, right?
Oh yes, I've been assistant coach for the national team for the past 2 years. two
Mm.
years plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've worked with the previous coaches and the current coach, Coach Stefan. So good experience for me. Good knowledge for me to know the women's football on the ground, knowing players' abilities, scouting for who's the next to come up and stuff. So
Yeah.
it is very interesting. I love what I do, and I think it's a very very good learning opportunity for me.
Mm. Okay, we'll talk about the scouting part later. But on the game itself, Singapore lost narrowly to
Mm.
Indonesia.
And
And by all accounts, I think I read about it, and Singapore had quite good chances to take the lead, missed the penalty as well.
yeah.
But then, you succumb to a loss.
Mhm.
Nuraweda, she started the game. Izian came off the bench, as you have mentioned.
Mhm.
Shaf, as a player, share with us how that game went.
Honestly, I should say that I'm very proud of my teammates that played that day, because I feel like they played their best. And they threw everything that we learned, and they had the 110% that they put in. As you know, we missed a penalty, and we actually hit two goalposts like
Yeah,
goals. So that
yeah.
was a waste. And honestly, the referee wasn't on our side that day. So it was quite upsetting to be like being on the bench and like screaming at the referee, and we feel very helpless. I feel very helpless on the bench. So, but I'm very very proud of my teammates for playing like their hearts out that day. Yeah.
Mm. And you didn't play a minute in that game, but how do you feel about
Like,
that?
honestly, I'm playing in a position where I'm playing centre half. So as you know, we have very good centre half in that team. Like my captain Ernie and Fatin and Mai, they were doing amazing at the back. So I don't think there was necessary changes that need to be made at the back. So I feel like I understand why Coach Stefan did not put me in. So, and I'm fine with it because I'm very grateful to be part of this team, a very talented team, and like I'm being able to train by their side and like improve myself further. So like I said, I feel very helpless being on the field. I mean on the bench. But then I'm very proud of what my teammates have shown because whatever we train, it actually showed on the field that day, like our hard work and all that. Yeah.
So I'm sure you would have felt very frustrated as well during parts of the game.
Yeah.
Blood pressure would
Yeah.
have risen.
I think Coach Lana can explain
A lot,
how
a
the
lot of
pressure was
pleasant
on the
words
field.
as well, I guess.
Coach,
Yeah,
anything
I
to
guess
say?
it's emotions on the field and off the field as well. I mean, at the bench is always full of emotions and frustration, especially when the referee didn't call it our way. But like Shaf said, it was a tremendous effort. It's something to be proud of. If you remember 1 year ago when we went to the AFC qualifier, we played Indonesia at Tajikistan. We've come a long way, I would say. We have come a long way. We were playing way much better than what we were playing then when we lost to them at the two games. A lot of confidence, a lot of players maturing, blossoming into seasoned players. Ayu, Dania, Wada. Mind you must take note that these are players under the age of 19 years old,
Yeah.
and they have already getting caps and playing alongside players from Indonesia. Um, and then we have people maturing into a lot more stable character. Stephanie, good assistant coach. Fana coming back from a bit of layoff and coming back and scoring. All these are showing their mental character, and it is a process in the making. You can see the difference in 1 year, and you can never know what a longer time will do to them. It is a process that you develop over time, and um, very proud of them. Seriously, they have matured. They know. Once we will play, there was once when we play against Indonesia or other countries, we were like, okay, let's defend till the end of the game and stuff. But
Okay.
right now we are going out to play and to play to win it, and I think that is something that we have inculcated into the players' head, that we can do that. We can beat teams like Indonesia, Malaysia, so slowly growing confident and slowly getting better, day by day, week by week, year by year.
Mm,
Yep.
mm. Okay. And as a coach, just a quick analysis on the difference between the Singapore national team and the Indonesian national team. This is just for the listeners to understand what is the difference.
Right. For us, I think what I think the advantages that we have is that most of the players just finished their Women's Premier League
Mm.
campaign, and they are still fresh and still what do you call that, top of their game. Whereas I this is from some sources that I got, the Indonesian Women's Premier League still have not kicked off yet.
Okay.
So a lot of their players are everywhere, and Indonesia is a big place.
Yeah.
They are team in rebuilding. Coach Rudy gather some new players and stuff. Um, so that's the difference between us and them, and it shows a lot in the game that unfortunately we can't show it for it through the result. I thought we had a lot of possession of the game, a lot of positive play and stuff, a lot of effort. That people who have been played throughout the year will have. Unlike the Indonesian team, the last, I think, competitive game they play was against us in the AFF.
Mm.
So that's the difference that we had between between Indonesia and us at that point when we play 2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay. Are you both surprised by the reception you got from the crowd? The number of fans that attended the match.
I
Shaf?
think There was actually quite a large number of people coming in as compared to the Tri Nations. I don't know
Mm,
for Coach Ratna, but for me, I feel like there was almost full house on the Singapore side. So it was
mm,
quite overwhelming when we went out to warm up and stuff like that to see like that much support behind us that day, and like we actually have that kind of support from the Singapore fans. As like it's nice to see like it's growing, because as you know, like the men's team always have extra support, like they always have a big
yeah.
group of fans and like stuff like that, so it's nice to see like the fan base growing. Yeah,
Mm. And any family or friends of yours were in the stands?
I had friends in the stands, like my club players, my club teammates,
Okay.
um school teammates that were there. So all of them were there. I wasn't like, I mean, like even though I didn't play, they were still supportive for me, like being part of the team and stuff like that. Like they still reposted me on Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm still very grateful to have them by my side and supporting me all the way. Yeah.
All right.
I think
Nice.
this is the thing that you can count on for women's football. I can say we are close knitted like that. If one team is playing, you have the rest of the other team coming and support. If the national team is playing, everybody coming down to support. All those have been playing in the league or those who are at the clubs and stuff. I think it is a good thing, and coming up with people coming up to pay to watch women's football is a good thing as well. Um, and you hardly hear any jeering or boos or whatever for our players so far that I know of. The supporters are always supportive. It's heartwarming to know, there are people coming down to support our ladies playing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is indeed that, in a way, probably playing devil's advocate, probably people are a bit frustrated with how the men's team is doing. So I guess they're just channeling that support now to the women team, hoping that they could get something better. And I think the girls did well. The girls really rewarded those who were watching in the stands, and it was on Me Watch as well. So even those watching on Me Watch, I think if you caught that game, I think you would have been rewarded by the display of the
Mhm.
lioness against Indonesia. So right, moving on to the season that you've just concluded, uh, Coach. What do you make about, first of all, what do you make about Shafika's performance in that season?
Uh, she like Mars. She's one of my key players, of course. But like she mentioned before the earlier just now, the women's football is not the same like the men's football. Men's football are
Mm,
professionals. They eat, breathe, sleep football. They train in the morning. They train in the evening.
that's what it
Um,
should be.
yeah, precisely. As much as we hope that should be for women's play as well, it is not yet. It is not yet. So I will have players like Shafika, sometime busy her internship. She's going through her internship. She's graduating soon. Soon, I wish her all the best. She will be away from training because of her internship duties, and she's not one. There will be a few, and then there are also people
Mm,
who are caught up with work
mm,
and unable to commit because for example, one good example I can tell you is my goalkeeper Izian. She's a full-time nurse at Tan Tock Seng
okay.
Hospital,
Okay.
emergency room nurse, and
Oh.
she will have to rush from her work and just to make it in time to prepare to warm up and to play. That's how things are with the women's Premier League. So that alone, I'm not giving any excuses and stuff, but that alone will have some effect on your preparation and whatnot. So that was the story of the season. I will have players missing through all this kind of thing. I didn't manage to play my best 11 on many occasions because of these issues, and then
Mm,
injuries crept in. But it was a steep learning curve. It was a very good learning, I would say,
mm,
because I've never experienced this kind of situation. Because the last I was with Sime United for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
2 or 3 seasons. Before that was with Tampines Rovers. It was not the the level of football for this women's Premier League is up there. To be honest with you, it's really interesting to see that, because we launched this Premier League and everybody up their game, and suddenly I find that, oh, I need more than what I'm doing last few season. So
Mm.
it is always keeping me on my toes. Okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What can
Mm.
I do? What can I do this? So I'm thankful this time around. I have my assistant coach, Coach Shahul, to actually always list out, okay, what is the problem, what can we do to get it better.
Oh, great.
And fortunately or unfortunately, we managed to get things better towards the last half of the season.
Mm.
And I think that is something that I could build on moving forward to next season. Okay,
Mm.
we last 3-4 games was amazing. I cannot ask for anything from the players. They give their best. They are working for each other, and it shows in the last 2 games that we won. No, things could happen, even though it's late in the season, but it's always a good thing to end the season on a high.
Mm. Okay. I noticed a lot of draws as well this
Oh
season
yeah,
for
yeah.
Balestier.
2 wins and 5 draws. Among all the 5 draws, I think 2 or 3 draws could have been a victory for us.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Statistics don't lie. Yeah, that is something I have to work on with for
Mm.
next season, to turn those draws into 3 points. Yeah.
Wins. Yeah. Okay. Shafika, yourself, happy with the season gone by? Yours personally first, on a personal note. Are you happy with the way you've played this season?
I feel like I could have done better as a player. Like I think I think there was one game like I was away and then coach always remind me and like bring it up how I always don't come. I don't come that game. Then we lost 5-0 to Tanjung Pagar. So
Yeah.
like I will always remember that. So but that was because it was a pre-planned trip by my family. So yeah. Then but honestly, I wish I could have played a little bit better during this season. But I like what coach say, preparation was a little bit hard with everyone away with work and stuff like that. And also on top of that, coming back from COVID, 2 years no training, it was a
Yeah.
little bit hard for us to quickly get together and like
Mhm.
train once or twice a week. And numbers were always down and stuff like that. So it is really hard to find chemistry in this kind of
Situations.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like but I feel like we did our best like as a team. Like we played our hearts out. We played for each other. We played till the final whistle. Like what there, as you can see, up to the last few matches, we start winning, and we proved to ourselves that we actually can play. It's just like I say, on top of that, the Yishun Stadium was
Yeah,
utterly
we'll get
rubbish.
to that.
Like,
We'll get to that
yeah.
soon.
So honestly, like as you know, like Singapore weather, it was just raining that past like last few games, and it was
Weekends, yeah,
quite
the
hard
past
for
few
us.
weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So and like to play after a 5 o'clock game, oh my god, I can't explain the nonsense that we were playing, but I feel like we did our best. We did our best to like keep the ball on the ground and play to our best ability to what coach wants, and yeah, the result shows at the end of the
Mm.
season. Yeah.
Okay. And is there something you felt this season you have improved on?
I feel like improve was not like I feel like I did play what I am capable of. Like I
Mm.
haven't yet improved because of the 2 years hiatus because of
Okay.
COVID and all that. So it was a little bit hard for me to keep improving myself. But I feel like speed was one thing that I was looking at, which I did manage to conquer lah. So I was
Mm.
chasing after Fana and Steph and all that. So I was quite proud of myself being able to like close them down fast and easy and like quickly and stuff like that. So that was one of the aims that I was looking for at this season. So I'm quite proud of that. But other than that, I feel like I have a lot more to improve on in the future and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So on that part of improving your speed, this falls under physical training, right? What
Yeah.
what kind of training you go undergo
Uh,
to improve your speed?
So I've been like going for gym. So I've been training my leg muscles and stuff like that. So I've been losing weight also. So I think Coach Anna can vouch for that. Like I think I lost about 15, 20 kg. It's the
Wow, that's
last
a
time he
lot.
saw me before. Yeah.
That's
So
a lot.
being in the national team, being like training every day, after training going to the gym and stuff like that. So it was tiring. On top of that, I still have to go for interns, but I
Mm,
think the outcome was good lah. Yeah, so I
mm,
managed to be able to achieve my goals, but slowly I'm still getting there. I'm not up to standard, and I'm not to where I want to be. So I think I will just keep improving till the next season or so. Yeah.
okay, and on that improvement part, which areas of your game do you feel you want to improve on?
I think it's more of being able to make decision faster. So I think
Okay.
coach always scream at me and like saying how I should do as a centre back. I should be able to be composed and then still make a good decision instead of just clearing the ball. Because as soon as I clear the ball, that's where the game changed.
Mm,
So instead of I'm trying to focus on being able to be calm and collective and being able to spread the ball left to right and like able to play the game, yeah, instead of just
mm.
pumping the ball and asking my striker to run, which is defeating
Basically,
the purpose of football, like, yeah.
just seeing the play in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Seeing the way
So
the way you want the play to develop in front of you, and then playing the
yeah,
ball.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Reading of the game then. Okay. Going on to the future now. Ratna, what's the plan for this team? Are there any more games coming up?
Basically, this is the end of the season. So, but training will still go on. I've already planned to, there will be new inclusion, new player coming in to strengthen the
Yeah.
squad. Got to look, go scout for some more players to see where, uh, if they fit into our plans. And of course, end of the season there will be movement of players. Players decide to try new adventures elsewhere. I think that's normal for football, even as a
Mm,
men's team after the end of the season. So I always tell my players, I always give them my blessing. If you think that they have somewhere to go and they feel that they can learn something else or elsewhere, I wish them all the best. That's how it should be. I don't think it should create animosity that I want to go elsewhere. Coaches are and players are not talking. That's very very sad, I would
childish.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. So right now is gathering players, thinking of which players to fit in into our plans for next season. Yeah.
Mm. Have you made any
Everything.
new signings?
Uh, I couldn't. I'm not able to divulge anything yet. Everything is done discreetly. Yeah. So,
Transfer negotiations underway then.
it's not a multi-million dollar deal or something like that, but I think in the women's context, you have to move fast. You have to you have to approach them fast, and having players which are friends with other players does help. Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes they are more comfortable with the teammates that they have played before.
Mm,
That's how the environment in women's football are.
yeah.
They like to be among group of people that they are familiar with. So
Yeah.
so sometimes it's helpful that some of the players are get helping me to ask, hey, coach, this player, I can try to ask her if she wants to play for us next season. All these
Mm,
little things. You have your network of communication, or I wouldn't say spies. You have network of players to help you with, to get
agents, agents.
agents, yeah, agents to help me to strengthen the team. Why not?
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
opposite can also be true,
Oh yes,
right?
of course. Your players will also, subject to. I wouldn't say poaching. It's not poaching. I would say, queries from
Temptations.
other teams. Yeah. The other teams also query about some of my players. That's how it is. Unless you are a big money club that you can sign a player, the contract them to certain restriction and stuff, then I have
Mm.
nothing to worry about. Yeah, but we are not there yet, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll move towards that direction. Yeah.
Okay, Shafika, on your future, what's your career goals like as a footballer? We can't hear you.
Yep.
No, still can't hear you. Oh, we've lost her. Oh,
Ah,
well.
no.
Yeah, pretty interesting, Coach Ratna, the way you've explained how you sign players, so-called sign players,
Um,
and is there a window where you have to make all these
yeah. So from
registrations
now,
done?
usually the competition department will tell us, that this is the date. From this date to date, before the window close, that you can register players, and then there's also mid-season transfer as well. Uh, I would say
Uh,
mid-season registration, not transfer, because the previous this year we are not able to take players from other clubs during the mid-season.
hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And is Lion City Sailors a professional club, or are they in the same boat as the rest?
I wouldn't say they are in the same boat than us. I think they are probably provided for better than most of us.
Okay.
Of course, with the sponsors and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and of course, with all these kind of things, also will sometimes produce a lot of result as well. So,
No, in the sense that
um,
are their players full-time players,
no,
or they're also working?
um, yeah, most LPS players are also mostly part timers as well.
Mm,
I don't think there's any professional football player, women's football player in Singapore yet.
okay.
Maybe with the exceptional of Nani, who's in Japan. Yeah, but over here, that's what we hope. So we hope to be in the next couple of years, perhaps. You know.
Mm. All right. Okay, Shaf, you're back. Say
Yes.
hello.
Hello.
All right. Okay, we got you. So, what I was asking you, what are your career goals?
Yeah, so for now, I'm just gonna stay with Balestier. Like, honestly, playing under Coach Ratna has always been a great deal for me because he's a good coach. Like, being able to be coached under him at the national team and then at club, like he has very good ambition of the team. So I'm honestly looking forward to next season. So as what he
That's not
said.
going to get you your first 11, you know.
Can coach. I
I'm,
bench.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to like the new players he's gonna pull in and like maybe we can go for top four next season and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. And now on this, the final question I'm gonna ask you: are you guys happy with the support Singapore women football is receiving from sponsors? First of all,
This,
I think for
Karen,
like club, for club or
yeah,
like
yeah. As a league, first of all, as a league, as a whole, and then your club as well.
I think for the league it's a little bit I mean they do give us like live telecast and stuff like that, but I think there was a matter that during like our rainy days, like our sub had to sit in the rain together with
Yes,
us and
yes,
being not sheltered. So like by the time
yeah,
they come, they are drenched and stuff like that. So that actually um like impacted our gameplay and stuff like that because if you're not focused on the bench and like you don't know how to get yourself warmed up enough to play for your team and stuff like that. So it was a thing that affected us. And on top of that, like I said, the field was horrible to play on, especially if you want to play like football, like a full game where you can pass instead of just kicking the ball forward and running for it. So I think in terms of the league, they could have done a little bit better instead. Like as you can see, the boys get to play in Jalan Besar Stadium. They get to play in better condition field than the women's team, but we have to settle for Yishun. But I'm proud to see that the National League actually are getting the Chachukang Stadium, Serangoon Stadium, which are all new stadiums. So I feel like if this could go on the next season, at least we have a proper stadium to play on and to train on. Like especially for Balestier, I think the men's team has been taking on the Toa Payoh Stadium, so we are always at a disadvantage because every time we want to train, they are already on the they're already at the Toa Payoh field, so we don't have a proper like training ground, and then we have to train on the Yishun Stadium, and uh, like I said, Singapore weather is it's unpredictable. So sometimes we really have to train in the mud, like get our boots really dirty and stuff like that. So
Mm.
it really is taking a toll in our own training in at the first place. So and then being having to play on that kind of field, it is very hard for us. Yeah.
Okay. On that note as well, Ratna, I think a lot of controversies as well this season on the Yishun Stadium. The substitutes
Yeah.
are not sheltered, no changing room, which was embarrassing.
I
No scoreboard as well, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
And you have
Uh,
joggers running around the track.
yeah. These are all the things that I think we need to improve, and I am sure things will be better next season. This is the first launch, so-called, we go through one season of it, and I'm pretty sure the competition department or the organizers are taking down notes on what to improve next season, and I
Mm,
truly hope to see all these changes being made because uh, to be fair, we can't get better in overnight. Okay, so
yeah.
they must be a slow. There must be changes over a period of time, and given time, I'm sure it will be better in terms of stadium allocation, in terms of quality of the field, quality of the dugouts, the toilets and whatnot. It have to be. If not, then all the complaints will fall on the deaf ears and nothing is being done.
Mm,
Which I think which is unlikely. I think they definitely will step up their games, to prove that they are serious about women's football. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a channel for you to voice out your feedback on issues like this?
I think there was always a team managers meeting with the
Okay.
competition department. That is one channel that we could. Whether or not it is executed after that, it depends. Yeah.
Mm, okay. On the issue of feel, okay, Shaf has mentioned that feel at Yishun Stadium isn't great. But in
Mm.
all honesty, all around the world, most teams play on natural grass fields, right? So when the national team goes out play against other teams on national grass fields, isn't it better for the league to play on grass fields as well?
Uh, that is the thing. You see, Singapore is unique in that sense. Of course, in terms of grass field is always the best to play football. But then again, over here is sustainability. You see, AstroTurf
Mm,
that will you will not have issues during rainy weather and stuff. But there's also what do you call that, cases of injuries, high
yeah,
injury cases with
yeah.
astroturf and stuff. So we as much as we want the best of both worlds, uh, we just want a decent playing area.
Mm,
Which uh, alternatively we could find something other than Yishun because
mm,
it is not as good as it was lah. Yeah.
mm. Okay. So thanks, Shaf and Ratna, for sharing some very forthright opinions on the state of Singapore football. But I believe it's not all bad this season. I think there's some
Of
good
course,
things
of
as
course.
well this season. Yeah,
Definitely,
some,
definitely.
some
That
improvements as well from previous seasons,
yeah.
like the coverage that you've got.
Mm.
The players' level of football has improved as well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
thank you for having us, Ross. It's a pleasure to be back again. Yeah.
Yep. Welcome. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. But before you go, Shaf, I always have this small little game I play with my guests. I think Coach Ratna was in it the last time. So
Mm.
it's just 10 quick fire questions. Just get to know you a bit more.
Okay.
So the first question I'm going to ask you is your favorite food.
There will be pizza,
Pizza. Okay. What kind of pizza?
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian. Okay.
Butter
For
someone.
Italians, that's blasphemy.
Yeah. You don't put pineapple in pizza, man.
Yeah, you don't put pineapple in pizza. Favorite drink?
Uh, I don't have favorite though. Plain water.
Okay. That's nice. Okay. I like that too. Movies or series? What do you like watching?
Series.
Okay. Anything you're watching right now?
I'm gonna start the Dharma after this interview actually. The Netflix
Okay.
series. Yeah, my friend
Which
said it
one?
was the German guy that likes to kill people apparently. The
Oh,
DH.
okay, okay. Dama,
Yeah.
Dama. No, that's not German. It's American. I'm
Oh,
on it as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, quite gory, but okay. If you like that kind of stuff, fine. Otherwise, stay away from it. Favorite football club?
Manchester United.
Yes.
Ooh.
Nice. All-time favorite player?
David Beckham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite female footballer?
Carly Lloyd.
Ali Lloyd. Okay. Favorite celebrity?
Condo. I'm not in there, but if I have to choose, I think Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. Okay. Nice. Hopefully, you meet her soon in your line of work.
Hopefully.
Favorite music genre?
Uh, Latino, right? Reggaeton. I like to,
Reggaeton. You know that's the favorite music genre in the men's team
yeah,
dressing room.
it
Have you
hype
heard?
team room up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your pet peeve misconception about women football. What do you hate hearing when people talk about women football?
Women cannot play football. Oh my
Hmm.
god. Like we
Okay.
actually prove it. Like you saw, like we actually can play football. Like
Hmm.
it's a sport for women and men.
Yeah.
And
True.
they are as tough as men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. I think
exactly.
people should watch first of all before they comment.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. The other thing is, of course, then you have people checking out women footballers, which is not nice. If you could recreate a goal, which goal would it be? So this is something you would have probably seen on the TV. Someone have done this, and you want to try the same thing.
I think Paul Scholes volley from outside the box, 18 yard.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. I
which one is that? He did it twice. One against Bradford, one against Aston Villa.
the Aston Villa one.
Aston Villa. Okay, we probably not old enough to remember the Bradford one,
Yeah.
and that's
So
that's me giving away my age. So,
yeah,
so
Paul Scholes goal was wonderful. Yeah, I wish I can do that kind of volley, top pin.
hmm. Okay, I hope you pull it off one day.
Hopefully.
Well, I'll look out for it.
Yeah.
All right, Shaf and Ratna, thanks a lot for taking your time out to be on the show. Anyways, right at the date, we had some listener, Lingesh Kumar, our avid listener, is asked you for your favorite female footballer, which you've answered, and he's given his. Mine is Lucy Brown's,
Good
and
choice.
according to him, it's Gibson Kwa has said Scholes said it was accidental.
Kill.
Well,
Kill.
whatever it was a great goal.
Yeah.
All right, it's been a pleasure speaking to the both of you. We'll stay in touch. Take care.
Take care,
Thank you.
Russ.
Yeah,
Thank you so
take
much.
care.
Take care, Sean.
Welcome,
Bye.
welcome. Ciao. Bye bye.
Bye. See you.